2 for only 279 Rand. My Josie, my spa. Rewards prices valid at Johannesburg Spa and Super Spa stores only. On 947, this is EWN.
Good evening, I'm Dominique Machola. Parliamentarians from across the political divide have once again pushed for a parliamentary inquiry to the Defence Force deployment in the Democratic Republic of Congo, during which 14 soldiers died. Deputy Defence Minister Bantu Holomisa says it is standard practice the SANDF will be conducting its own investigations. But some members of Parliament's Joint Standing Committee on Defence today, they feel Parliament needs to conduct its own oversight to avoid the failures in future and to determine what kind of resourcing the Defence Force requires. Lindsay Datlinger reports.
South Africa's deployment to the DRC has been the second most deadly since democracy. Among MPs who want Parliament to properly probe the mission is the ACDP's Steve Swart.
But Parliament has, as in the past, with other deployments, other battles, had an oversight inquiry, whether it is behind locked doors or elsewhere. That is a decision that can be taken.
The EFF's Virgil Gericke agreed, but committee chairperson Malusi Gigaba says it's too soon to decide on whether a parliamentary inquiry is necessary. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Segregated whites-only enclaves in post-apartheid South Africa like Orania have come under the spotlight in Parliament with calls for their eradication. Political parties in Parliament have differed on whether the enclaves should be allowed to exist or should be interrogated with the rest of society. They took part in the EFF-sponsored debate in the National Assembly, which called the enclaves like Orania and Kleinfontein a threat to nation-building, non-rationalism and social cohesion. The EFF said the settlements pose a threat to the country, while FF Plus argued that the communities of Orania and Kleinfontein did not originate overnight and have every right to exist. KwaZulu-Natal police have beefed up security ahead of tomorrow's Nedbank Cup soccer match in Durban, following advice from the Crime Intelligence Unit. This follows threats made on social media platforms by supporters complaining about unfairness in how tickets were sold. They are reportedly planning to cause chaos outside the stadium. KZN Police Deputy Provincial Commissioner Major General Phumlele Makhoba.
The planning team, though, had to revise the operational plans considering the possible and potential threats as advised by our intelligence teams. We are in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and we don't allow lawlessness, and it will not be tolerated on the day of the match.
A fine Saturday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg dropping to overnight lows of 16 degrees, peaking at highs of 23. Pretoria 10 and 22. Vereeniging 7 and 24 degrees. Dominique Machola, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Atko Mafani as well as Benki Morisane, my guest here tonight.
It's a pity that Mafani missed this moment.
Yes.
To walk in here and there's this giant screen and it has my face on it. And like, wow. And then there's another screen with another 2 pictures of myself. I'm like, wow. It's such a great honor.
How do you feel when you walk into
amazing.
greatness?
Like, I'm the mighty Buccaneer. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like,
please don't forget what happened after Palco sang that Besuma. Besuma, where were you?
I so wish those people can come back to Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. We were entertained. It's a pity, Rob. I'm from Durban and you know the story.
Babu Mafani, sir, I will never forget how well you handled the chaos that happened at Ellis Park Stadium during the Stampede. You will forever remain a legend in my books.
if you're Orlando Pirates supporter and you value and love this brand, you love this skull and crossbone and its evolution, when you go down to Moses Mabhida and you don't have a ticket, or you have an illegitimate ticket, which means you bought your ticket on the back door, please don't try and do that, because if you respect your team, you respect this brand, you will stay at home.
Well, I just love to encourage those who do have tickets to arrive on time. One of the bad things with AW is when kickoff is delayed. This can change. If you don't have a ticket, stay home.
Give me a score as the referee blows the final whistle.
1-0 to Kaizer Chiefs.
Bye-bye. Mickey?
2 Orlando Pirates, 1 Kaizer Chiefs. 90 minutes.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Oh man, it's your favorite Friday. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Well, it's been a Friday of many breaking news stories, and we also salute Mo Salah, hey, footballer of the season. Great achievement, great season he's had. Probably one of the best ever. Hearing news bubbling under about a sale of a certain SuperSport United to Bloemfontein Celtic. I mean, is that true or not? We've been reaching out, and one thing we never do, follow whatever the rumors are. We hear them, we see them, but also when the people that are involved in the teams then start ducking and diving and not picking up calls. You know, if we were talking about them signing Mo Salah, they would be more than happy to pick up our calls. But right now, though, when you say, please confirm if this is true or not, then they look at the phone, then they decide to ignore, and then you say, come on. You're professionals, guys. End the rumors. Get down to the detail. If it's on, it's on. As it is speculated. If it isn't, then just send out a statement and, denounce that. It's as simple as that. Looking forward to chatting to Nanana. I'm sure if you're a football fan, that means something to you. If you're not, I'm sorry. Or if you're a football fan but you don't know what that means, then also, I don't know, but you might be intrigued enough to stay on to hear who indeed is Nanana. Also, the breaking news story earlier today, man. Might be long overdue, but it's happened. Hey, Cricket South Africa announcing the appointment of Shukri Conrad as the Proteas men's all-format head coach. I mean, he's led the test side since January 2023 and will now take charge of the white ball format, starting with the T20 International Tri-Series against Zimbabwe, as well as New Zealand in July. The 58-year-old will oversee the national team across all formats through to the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2027. Will be hosted on home soil, remember?
Yeah, it does make life easier. You obviously... you like to use the word total control, but you've got a really good idea of where every single player is at, both physically in terms of a mental space and it might be tougher dealing with myself than it was with Rob sometimes, but yeah, I must add that Rob and I had a wonderful working relationship, and yeah, it was pretty smooth sailing. But really excited about what would lie ahead, and like you rightly say, it would be a lot easier just managing both workloads and where players are at and whatever interventions need to happen. I don't think I would do things differently. I think Rob obviously laid a really good foundation, did some wonderful things. You only need to look at the performances at ICC events. So I'll try and build on what Rob has done. And yes, those processes have started already. As we chatted to some of our players at the IPL and abroad, in terms of potentially what their year can look like, in terms of active involvement. So the planning processes have started. It's not one that ever stops. So, and it will be modified as we go along, obviously. But I'll be excited and looking to build on what Rob has done, and then obviously take whatever good things we've done in the test space and hopefully transfer that into the white ball space as well.
So this appointment, though, forms part of Cricket SA's broader restructuring of the national team strategy, including the reintroduction of a national convener of Selection, now the CSA Director of National Teams, as well as High Performance, Enoch Nkwe.
Yes, there were a whole lot of obviously factors that were taken into account in this process and finalizing the process to appoint Coach Shukri. And having looked at also the FTP, yes, this year it is jam-packed, which is we do have a plan in terms of how we're going to manage that. I've had discussion also with Coach Shooks, and so we'll be managing all of that throughout this year. But we had to obviously look at the World Cup, the W2C cycle, and where it worked, and look at what's actually going to work best. And with Coach Shukri having been obviously in the system over the past 2.5 years, it was no-brainer, to obviously look at him taking the team going forward, as he's been part of the process, since start of the split or the dual structure. And he has a good understanding of what's been happening in WIPO, like he said. And, so now the plan is obviously to build on, the good work that Rob has done. And, and we have no doubt from our side that he'll do a good job for us as he's been part of the process. And we're fully confident, we'll keep supporting him on this journey to World Cup 2027.
All right, it's supposed to be a grand finale now, the Ultimate Clash 2025 Nedbank Cup final, but instead, all of the triumph and celebration, there's a bit of chaos, confusion, a whole lot of outrage, as we've been hearing the entire week. That's the Nedbank Cup final ticket scandal, with thousands of passionate fans that have been left stranded, betrayed by the system that was supposed to be bringing them closer to the game that they love so dearly. Now, as the clock ticks down to the final whistle, questions linger though in the air. Why were the tickets allocations botched? Who's accountable? And most importantly, have the fans finally gotten the refunds that they've been promised? Now, tonight we're going to be cutting through the noise and also trying to get straight to the heart of this issue. The PSL brought in a heavy hitter, though, to try and restore order. An independent auditor tasked with unraveling this chaotic web. And he's the man who's just jetted down again, down to Durban, down to KZN. To figure things out and maybe to lead in a certain direction. And he's a man that knows the truth, the MD of Stadium Management South Africa, Bertie Grobler. We welcome you. We don't normally cross to you when you're down in Durban, but here you are. This is where we find ourselves, the CEO of Stadium Management. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Rob. Always good to speak to you.
What can you describe for us? Are we ready for tomorrow? Can the fans start arriving, and from what time?
Yes, just in intro, again, to just take into account and the fact that neither me nor Stadium Management South Africa is involved in the operational execution. So we're not the event organizer, neither are we the venue authority. As you rightly alluded to, we used the same ticketing company for the derby a week before, and the PSL requested me to assess and to assist with exactly what you described now, to ensure and to give them comfort that all tickets that's supposed to be issued are issued, and that there's no oversubscription and overissuing of tickets. So in that regard, Rob, I can confirm with the information I've received from the raw data and the back end, that from a ticketing perspective and a ticketing issue perspective, on the hard facts and not dealing with the emotion and the obvious emotion around it, the fixture is ready from a ticketing perspective.
What do you say in summary, though, Bertie, went wrong with this ticketing process? And as I asked in that intro, have the people that were promised refunds been refunded?
Yes, they were, and there we need to differentiate, Rob. There's obviously people that bought online making use of card transactions. All of those transactions this morning at 8 o'clock, we got a certificate, were refunded and reversed. There was 5,813 tickets or purchases that still had to be refunded by way of EFTs. I can also confirm that according to the information provided and to the best of my knowledge and following the audit of this, all of these people received emails and SMS notices to provide their banking details, and they would be refunded. Others can claim it from the Shoprite Checkers outlets where they bought the tickets. Unfortunately, as I said here, I can't give you the full guarantee that those people have been refunded, as we said here, because it's obviously the sales were from all over the country. And I made an undertaking to the PSL that we will confirm that by Monday at 12.
All right, so we've got no number yet to say X number have been refunded. So many are waiting for their tickets. But what can you confirm for us in terms of those who will be holding a ticket and becoming, the actual bums on seats tomorrow?
Yes, there was, as we speak, there were 48,106 tickets issued. Of that, 44,000 is general access tickets, and 41,000 were tickets that were actually purchased by the general public. 3,000 of those, I'm lying, 2,700 were complimentary tickets that's allocated to the club's sponsors and partners of the PSL. There's also the presidential suite and the presidential business lounge. That's by invite, and no tickets were issued for that. The invitation and the accreditation from the PSL will serve as the ticket. So 48,106 tickets issued, and that would be the capacity for tomorrow. The safe capacity set at 49,703 in terms of the venue grading certificate and the planning capacity of the ESSPC.
Obviously, it'll be unfair of me to ask you a whole lot of questions about areas that are not related to you as well in terms of what needs to be done, next year, the next big game in terms of ticketing and so on. But what I can ask you, though, because we do have limited time, Bat, is that you are there. You're seeing maybe changes to what you would have seen a couple of days ago when you had the press conference, and the security around everything, because that's the main thing that everybody's talking about right now. And what time would you say and tell a fan who has a ticket legitimately, what time do you think they should be arriving at that stadium so that they don't get caught up in whatever potential thing there is to be caught up with?
Gates open at 11, Rob, and if I was a fan, I would be there just after 11 to ensure that I go through the process, and irrespective of what logistical challenges we might be faced with. The fact is, with a full capacity event, there's always issues, irrespective of what venue you host the fixture. Early arrival is the key to have a non-frustrating event. So I would definitely advise the fans, arrive when gates open, see that you're there. There's although we're not the event organizer, I've seen there's a lot of activations. Come and enjoy the beer garden, come and enjoy the activations, but ensure that you're there timelessly.
But there's nothing you're observing in terms of closures that are unexpected. Maybe they haven't started closing them off yet, leading up. I mean, you know how you do it when you do the Soweto Derby at the FNB Stadium. I mean, is there anything that you visually can see right now that will be outside of the norm?
No, nothing outside the norm. And as we speak, no road closures has been implemented yet. And excuse me if I'm sounding ignorant, but it's because I haven't seen the operational plans, as I said. What I can tell you, and I think you will excuse me for mentioning, but the authorized member, the Colonel, and then General Makonazi is, I attended the meeting on Tuesday, and I can assure you the state security services are more ready for any event than I've ever seen to manage the event as a safe and secure event. I think their planning is to the T.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one, Bertie.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Betty Grobler. Rob, a quick question to Betty. Do you think the service provider OpenTicket had a business continuity plan And if so, why did they divert to CompuTicket instead of diverting to their own business continuity plan in an event of a disruption like this when the server went down? And lastly, do you have an audit trail that indicates that the tickets were all dispersed at the same time? No area was victimized or compromised for being left to be not to receive the tickets for the Soweto Derby. Thank you so much, Tebogo.
Thank you so much, Bertie.
Yes, Rob, I'll try and there's also a misconception. CompuTicket wasn't roped in at the last minute. CompuTicket and OpenTickets got a distribution service level agreement. You'll recall after the February derby, we had the issue with the toll slip tickets where we changed the service provider, where we said we're not going to allow any more toll slip tickets because that is the root cause of fake and counterfeit tickets. But you can't just go digital on a digital platform in our market currently. Maybe in 2 years' time, that might be the answer. You still need physical outlets where you can go and buy with your hard cash a physical thermal ticket. So all along, even for the derby, the OpenTicket, CompuTicket relationship was in place. People bought derby tickets for the derby at the FNB Stadium. They bought from CompuTicket outlets. So what transpired here is, and I still don't know whether it's a crash, whether it's a delay in the system, whether it's a glitch. The fact is the system was overwhelmed. And a decision was taken at that point to stop the issuing of tickets to ensure that there's no overselling of tickets beyond the event capacity. Unfortunately, it seems that the system still allowed people to register and to lock their request for tickets and to make payments. And that is where the issue occurred. So the system, both CompuTicket and the OpenTicket web and digital platform, was stopped at one point in time. But unfortunately, it seems that, or not it seems, it happened that transactions still went through. So there were no oversubscription, over-issuing of tickets beyond the planned capacity. The unfortunate situation is people paid for a ticket. They were under the impression that now I'm secured of my ticket, but they were beyond the cutoff of the planned capacity. The last part of the question, and again, I'm sitting here with information that I need to verify and will do that by certificate. But the information currently is that 34% of transactions concluded comes from KwaZulu-Natal. I know there was a fear at one stage that the local community would decline the opportunity to purchase tickets. It seems from the information we've got from the platforms that 34% of transactions comes from KwaZulu-Natal.
All right, Bertie, we've got to leave it there. I wish you everything of the best to you, your team, and everybody else. I'm sure, and I hope that it's a smooth ride and that everything else, all the noise, the negativity in the week will be put aside. And I still do hope, deep down the bottom of my heart, that people from OpenTicket, whether it's CompuTicket, ShopRite, whoever is involved in this, steps forward and be accountable. And we also hope to hear from the league as well. That's part of their duty to the fans. Bertie, thank you so much indeed.
Rob, just a final word, and please keep on doing, you and all of the media, you need to keep us accountable in the industry and keep doing that, because without that, there will be no improvement. So hopefully a lot of lessons learned from this, but thank you for the interest and thank you for holding us accountable.
Appreciate that, Bertie Grobler, Stadium Management SA. As he says, this is not his gig. He's been roped in to come in and kind of sort out the mess, if you want to call it that. You've got to be straightforward about this. You know, we've been trying, we've been knocking, and of course the people directly involved in this have not been keen to step forward. Why? I don't know. Why are you in the business if you don't want to talk and be accountable?
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
Whether you own a startup in Sandton or a spaza shop in Soweto, Standard Bank has the solutions to grow your business. For just R9 per month, our MyMoBiz business account gives you access to free online banking and a team of business experts. Our Simply Blue Pro card machine enables you to accept payments anytime, anywhere. Search Standard Bank MyMoBiz and Simply Blue to amplify the growth of your business today. Standard Bank is an authorized FSB and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Stand a chance to win your contract when you upgrade or sign up for the Huawei Nova 13i from Cell C. Get it today on a 36-month Elevate 2 Plus contract for only R449 per month. You also get 10 gigs once-off data absolutely free. Go in store or call 084 145. Offer valid until 17 June. T's and C's apply. Nothing should stop you. Switch to C. Cell C, the official partner of the Comrades Marathon.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm stretching for tonight.
I thought you're not dancing at bachelorette parties anymore.
Baby, we need the money to put Johnny through matriek mos.
And what's the police uniform for?
The clients feel safer when I wear it.
No, man, just sell your bucky to We Buy Cars. They give the best prices and they pay you within minutes.
Okay, but can I just go and dance one more time, please? You know how much I love it.
No, the buyer's already on his way here.
Wow, okay.
Strapped for cash? Just sell your vehicle to We Buy Cars. The easiest way to sell your car by far.
Live extra with Checkers and save with over 1,500 deals every week. Like Baby Soft 2-ply white toilet rolls 24-pack for $169.99. Crystal Valley cheddar or Gouda cheese 750 grams, any two for R189. And Ina Parman's product range. Buy any three and save 20%. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Listen up, SA. The new McDonald's McCrispy is here with our loudest crunch yet. People may stare or comment while you enjoy the new McCrispy in quiet places like a study hall.
Quiet, please.
Or in theaters during the tasty McCrispy burger from McDonald's. A crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken fillet topped with our creamy lemon pepper sauce on a golden potato bun. The new McCrispy is our loudest crunch yet. Bring the noise.
Indulge in the seductive allure of the cherry, red and ripe. With a tantalizing blend of sweetness and tartness, each bite bursts with juiciness, leaving you craving more. Ready to pluck the forbidden fruit? Spin the hot Lotto Star reels to ignite your senses with payouts of up to 20 million rand. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Patko Mafani as well as Mickey Morisani, my guest here tonight.
What I liked about our coach Rivero, he said, I know that I am going to take out a hot one and bring in another hot one.
Why does it sound like you're advertising chicken? A hot one, hot wings. I don't know what you're talking about. Patko Mafani, do you want to step in here?
Let me say this in the Madiba style so that you can take me serious.
Oh, please.
This particular week, I somehow, for the very first time, feel like an underdog. And on paper, Orlando Pirates have got all the ingredients to come back with a trophy. If Kaiser Chiefs bring back the trophy, it is like turning water into wine. I thank you.
Have you ever had wine, Madiba?
I leave wine to Mickey.
Hi, Bo.
I said it's getting hot in here. Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always. This is how we do it. About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Good evening, Robert. This is the man. Regarding NetBank final, Pirates has a tendency of being Speedy Gonzalez. Their formation is that of rushing, Robert, and that's where they falter. So for Kaizer Chiefs, it must just guard against that and counter Orlando Pirates because they always rush to score goals, opening at the back. So I give this one to Kaizer Chiefs. But the condition is Kaizer Chiefs must know how to manage if they lead, because that's their mistake. You lead and you don't manage. In that fashion, you lose your game. But this one, I give Kaizer Chiefs 3, Orlando Pirates 2. It sounds an ambitious score, but it's possible. Only if Makosi counter
the Speedy Gonzalez approach of Orlando Pirates. Good choice always.
The man. Thank you so much indeed. We'll hold you down to that prediction, giving it to Kaizer Chiefs to end the 10-year drought that they've had of winning absolutely no trophy. I think my guest here would never be able to fathom that prospect of Chiefs not winning anything, because he faced them many a time, and Chiefs are always lifting something, trophies. They weren't just lifting weights at the gym, they were lifting trophies. And can they do that now? That's the big question. And hopefully my guest will also help us to answer that. Someone is saying, please go to that dustbin where you threw the microphone and the dustbin of history and what. Hey, guys.
Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yeah, we brought in a neutral, and that's why tonight, we honor greatness. A journey that's been carved into the heart of football history. I mean, a name that brought rhythm. When you talk about flair, the fire to the pitch, earning admiration, though, from the terraces to the touchline and from the vibrant township of Sundowns, phakathi Soweto. I mean, to the towering stadiums. He dazzled us with his skill, his passion, also his unshakable spirit. A true icon of the game, a mentor, a visionary, a legend whose legacy is forever etched in the story of South African football. They say the man, the myth, the force who transformed the game through talent, a lot of courage, sheer determination. And I guess in a world where football transcends borders, some stories rise above the game itself. And that is why our guest tonight has lived such a story. I mean, he's seen it all, he's fought through it all. A warrior of the sport, a leader on and off the field. Not just a footballer, but a coach, a player manager, an administrator, trailblazer. But his story kind of runs deeper than trophies and titles. And in the darkest of days of apartheid, he stood at the crossroads of sport as well as struggle. I mean, not just playing the game, but also changing it. As a first black player at Wits University, a predominantly white team in the 1980s, I mean, he faced racism head on. And proving that talent knows no color and resilience knows no limits. And that is why tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we honor his journey, his courage, his contribution to the beautiful game. I mean, he played the game. He changed it forever. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome the legendary. Yes, you can see that. The whole house is standing. Mike Nanana Ntombela. Good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this, and good evening to the listeners at home. And even the cars and wherever they are.
Yeah, we always say, wherever you are. You listen to the radio and you have Mike Ntombela in studio. And you have somebody who made history with him. And because I respect both of them, I let the leaders and the elders first.
Hi, Rob. You see that man that is sitting there with you, Mike Nanana Ntombela. He's a brother to me. And every time I look at him or I think of him, it takes me back to the first day when he arrived at Wits. And, as you know, that whites believe in size. They believe that a defender has to be big, strong, and tall. Those are the attributes that they are looking for in a defender. And you know the size of that man. The stature is small, but the heart is big. Born with leadership qualities, born with the most educated left foot. I remember the first training session. We did exercises and we were running, and when we did the game situation, they just could not believe that there is so much. There is so much that Mike Ntombela could cover in terms of cover. When you want to cover the ground, I mean, he could attack and still get back, come back and defend. And he could start an attack from the left side, And I just want to say I'm so blessed that in my time I interacted with him. Blessed indeed that is a gentleman of note. We've been through a lot, me and him. The abuse from the fans when we played at Orlando Stadium. Remember when he was hit by with a knobkiri when we played against Amazulu in Durban. Imagine when we have to come back minus one of you. You know, he went to the hospital and they admitted him, and we had to come back to Joburg. You know, there's so much that I can say about Mike. You know, we need a show on its own that we can just talk. I can just talk about that man. You know, I really, really take my hat off to him. And now we're getting old. Singamakhehla manje man Robsa. Yeah, sesikhulile. But at least God has given us life. We're still alive and kicking, you know, and I just want to say I wish him everything of the best, everything that he aspires for. uNkulunkulu ambusise man, ambusise ngempilo. Okuningi sizokubona. Amphe nje impilo, that's all. Thank you.
Oh man, the great voice of Mike Sporo Mangena. I mean, what a beautiful tribute. Heartfelt. He's touched on some of your highs and your lows and how the fans were so nasty towards both of you. We've got no time to find out how you and I are. I can see you're fine. You could play 98 minutes of football in your sleep. But when he talks about how the fans treated you, that was largely because they saw you both as sellouts. Expand on that.
Yeah, at that time it was the height of apartheid. It was rife, and people were feeling that the white people were not, and they were not looking at it that it's a system. It was not everyone was doing that, and so they just didn't want to see any predominantly white teams succeeding in beating one of the greatest, like Orlando Pirates or Moroka Swallows or Kaizer Chiefs. So they would just not like to see that. And even if you go to Durban, Amazulu, African Wanderers, Durban Bushbucks, so those were the teams at the time. So that was the abuse, but it made me very strong because I could understand, because at that time also I was just an activist, understanding that this was an experience for me, that to prove that not every white person is like that. And because I was welcomed and I was looked after by the same people which the supporters didn't understand. But I could understand where the supporters were coming from.
Yeah. You're too popular for me, so I'm going to go straight to the lines. I've got Richard and Proteat Land. Richard, good evening.
Good evening, Robert. How are you?
I'm very good. You want to pay tribute to this man?
That's my coach, Ntombela.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm right. I used to stay Shawela, and I played for Ghana. You were my coach. I was a goalkeeper.
Yes, I do remember. I remember very well, yeah.
Yes, that's my coach, Robert. And the late Edzondi was our number one fan. He used to support us very much by then.
Yes, of course. That were the Gunners.
Yes. So I played for him. I was his goalkeeper.
Sure. And what kind of a man was he, you know, from a personal perspective, you as a player?
Down to earth, he will encourage us. That's why a place like Abosirero, they made it in soccer, because he knows how to groom young ones.
No, that's a very important point.
Figure, yes, 100%, yes.
Yeah, I love it, Richard. Thank you so much indeed. I mean, both of the Tulanis were in your hands. And when he first signed up, he was 18 years old in Cape Town. John Committee saw him, and within 2 seconds, 300,000 rand was in your bank account.
Yes.
Am I lying though?
No, you're not. But he came a little bit earlier at 13-14 and Tulane 15.
Yeah.
But the amount which you're talking about, it was after a negotiation with John Committees, it was supposed to be 100,000. But because he was doing so well, then I said, oh man, please. Can you? Then he said, it doesn't work that way, Mike. Man. I have to speak to the board and all that. But then he said, I'm going to make your case. Then we got the 300,000, which I shared it with the team, which also he played for before. He played for Sundowns Gunners. He played for Mapetla Barcelona. So then I gave them part of the money to that team.
I love your honesty, though, because you were never going to deny that it was 300,000.
No.
But just quickly before I take a break, though,
Sure.
and it's so ironic that you are in studio on a day where Cape Town City have announced that, Tulani is going to be leaving the club as well. Has he spoken to you? I don't even know how or why. I saw him 2 weeks ago when I was down in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Spoke to him, so happy to see him. I hadn't seen him in years since he came back from overseas. What's happened?
Oh, he's my son, but when he was in Europe, we couldn't, I couldn't continue managing him because of the distance and all that, and then we parted kahle and everything was okay.
Sure.
And then when he was coming back, we did speak a little bit, and I said, okay, maybe one of the best teams for you is Kaizer Chiefs if you want, because I thought you'll finish in a bigger team and all that. But because of the relationship he had with John, and he wanted to repay him, because John has been good to him and has been good to me as well. So I could understand, but I didn't speak to him when he was in South Africa. And I also saw it in the newspapers that they may be parting. But I'm sure it's because of the fitness, I would think. When he came, he had not been playing for about 3 months and all that. And then when you miss that part of build-up in terms of your fitness, it's very difficult to join a team. It's rather if you are with another team and you did their preseason and all that, and then when you go in. But if you haven't done that and you come in, I saw him in one game, he was really struggling in that game.
All right, so Nanana Ntombela is my guest here. When we come back from the break, Debora, we see you. We're going to come back. I know you wanted to call and chat to our guest here tonight. It is your show. It's his show. All we're saying is thank you so much indeed for the contribution that you've made to SA football, making it a better and a safer place. I see your T-shirt there. Just quickly, I see a very small car.
Yeah, take me home.
It's a Nanana.
It's a Nanana.
It's a Nanana.
It's a Nanana, yes.
It's a Nanana, okay.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
When you choose insurance made for women, you choose a dedicated pink fleet of guardian angels that you can call on 24/7. You choose to know who's coming to help and how long till they arrive. You choose a lift to wherever you need to go. But most of all, you choose to feel safe and fearless on the road 24/7. So choose First for Women, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Visit firstforwomen.co.za.
It's time to skip to the good part. Simply order ahead on the McDonald's app, pay online, and choose how you want to collect at the store. No fuss, just you, your faves, and mobile order and pay. So save some time on your next order. It's just one tap away. Order ahead, skip to the good part, and collect at the store. Try mobile order and pay, now available on the McDonald's app. T's and C's apply.
It's time to win new wheels with Caltex. Caltex is not only giving you a chance to win an epic VW Amarok Bakkie, but also a chance to win fuel for a year thanks to Standard Bank U-Count rewards. And the best part is, winning a new Bakkie is easy. Get to your nearest Caltex service station and fill up with 400 Rand or more to enter. T's and C's apply. Caltex, it's how you get there.
This May, Xiaomi is giving back to the fans with massive smartphone savings that you don't want to miss. Get the Redmi A3X for just 1,399. The Redmi 14C only 2,299. Save big on the Redmi 13, now 2,999. That's 1,000 Rand off. Or go bold with the Redmi Note 14, slashed from 4,999 to 4,499. Available at Incredible Connection, Hi-Fi Corp, TFG, Takealot, Ackermans, Pep, Mr. Price, and more. T's and C's apply. Xiaomi.
That V word on your receipts. A big fat 15%. It feels like your rand's always doing a runner. But there's another V, one adding real value. This May, Volvo is saving you 15% on selected vehicles, like the XC60 starting from 840,140. With 15% back in your pocket, this V is where it's at. With Volvo, it's safe to be brave. Offer valid until 31 May 2025. Contact your nearest dealer to book a test drive. T's and C's apply.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
You two are great, my friend. Papa Mafani as well as Mickey Morisani, my guest here tonight.
I must also give it to Mafani, to Mputumi. Remember Mputumi launched me. Okay. I was dressed in a white suit, being launched for the first time in a black shirt. And when I walked in there in the center, Patko didn't know what hit him. I gave it all. He went on kwasa. I went in with my Pantula dance. I went into Trumpis. I brought in Alaska. And from there, I went international. Las Vegas, Los Angeles. I brought in Michael Jackson.
Which Michael Jackson did you bring in?
Beat it.
Just beat it. Beat it there for us.
I did this, and when I did the spin, Patko was down. I killed it.
#MSW. #MSW.
Hi, Rob. Good evening. I hope you are well. I don't know where to start with your guest tonight. I just call him Skipper. One person I've looked up to in Snawani, in Soweto. He's my role model. He knows that, and he knows it. One person I have always been with across all the football levels. I don't know where I have not worked with him. I played with him at professional level. I have reported to him at professional level. I have worked with him also even at national teams. I mean, Mike have been everywhere. I don't know where I have worked in football and I've never met Mike or worked with him. I reported at him at Mamelodi Sundowns. I imagine landing a job and reporting to a person that you grew up to, your role model, and then you have to report to him. How simple it was for me. It was a soft landing for me also when I came to Mamelodi Sundowns, that this is the person that is my role model. Now I have to report to him and even work with him. He helped me to mold the team of Mamelodi Sundowns when I arrived. He knew everything when I arrived. He guided me and said, look at that, touch that. Not even interfering, working with somebody who has his hand or his arm around him or your shoulder. He's standing behind you and he's got his hands on your shoulder. Imagine working with a person like that. I would not have contributed the little bit of success that we did at Mamelodi Sundowns if I didn't have Mike as my manager, as my technical manager, everything.
Spoken from the heart. It's the first part of the great legend himself, Pitso Msimane, Dr. Pitso Msimane, paying tribute to you, Mike Ntombela. I mean, how do you respond to that? Because he talks about the soft landing that you allowed him when you were the boss?
No, yeah. We came a long way. We grew up together. He's just younger than me. And so when he was there, I had remembered some of the things his father said, hey, you must look after my son. Eh? So I that always in my mind to make sure that I look after him and make sure. But I'm just like that in sports. I just support anyone who's appointed, who's in a club. I don't care whether I know more than him or not, or that doesn't even matter to me. It's just that when you are in a team or in a club, you must be able to conform to some of the things. You must be able to be supportive of because it's not about you, it's about the team. All of us have to work the right direction, and the club I love so much. Sundowns is where after leaving Vets, I moved to Sundowns, and it was very close to me during the Zola Mahobe era. I was also a captain. So when you are leading, you must also allow to be led.
Yes. And because you're such a humble person, the way you said it so quickly, when I moved to Sundowns and I was captain. You said it so softly, like it's a small thing. Hey, Baba, under Zola Mahobe, the late. Those are the times. Mike Mangena would know as well.
Yeah.
Those are the times that everybody, all the players, their wives, their girlfriends, were given an opportunity by Brazola to pack their bags and go to the UK to go and watch the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was a visionary. Zola was something else because the way he went to Mamelodi and the club was in Mamelodi, and he never tried to move the club from Mamelodi. He kept it there in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
And he supported the team, and he brought all the ideas, and he wanted to make us to see the difference between our football and the football in overseas. And relax with your girlfriend or your wife.
Not both.
Not both. I was very careful about that. And that was the logo. When I rejoined Sundowns as under Patrice Motsepe, I was able to choose which position did I want, because he asked me, which position you want? You want to be to head the academy, or you want to be a team manager? I said, no, I want to be a team manager. He said, why? Because you've been working in... I said, no, because I want to see that the club has got results. Because if I'm there, I want to be in the mix, so that if the results are not there, then you can easily fire me. It's easy.
That is why his name is Mike Ntombela, guys. Imagine Patrice Motsepe says to you, welcome back to Sundowns. What position would you like to occupy in this wonderful team? And then you choose. And then you get a nice big salary. I know. Kumnandi. Tebza Tebogo in the East Rand. I know he's been very patient. Thank you indeed for that. I know this man means a lot to you, and that's why you've hung on for this long. Here he is in front of you. Go ahead.
Rob, tonight you are taking us back to the days when we used to scramble for the newspapers on Monday just to get the picture of Mike Ntombela as youngsters. Those are the guys who made us fall in love with the game. And I was very shocked when I saw him recently at the Engine Cup, and the youngsters were not recognizing him. I was so chuffed to be in the same presence to where he was. And I think as humble as he was, Rob, this man is an icon. And I think if he was born a Brazilian, he would have won a World Cup. And I just hope that, Mike, you can give us a project similar to Snawane Gunners, because one has never witnessed a final in the township similar to a discovery final between Snawane Gunners and Westbury. If you consider something like, can I ask you if you can consider a project like that? Because we've never seen something like that. And I just want to thank you so much for your contribution in our football. Wishing you all the best.
Sure. Nice one. Maybe answer that one while he's still on the line about that project.
Okay.
Election.
No, I would like to have a project like that. I try to go to all the townships And probably when I can exchange the numbers and we could start the discussion. And more so because the clubs are like that, but what is falling behind is the school sport. And the school sport is staying behind. And this was the springboard for most of the players to go to look. So we could talk and maybe obviously, but I would like to lean more to the school sports because that's where we can unearth more of the players at earlier stage and be able to make sure that they try and test how is to play professional football.
Well, there you have it, Tebogo. You happy with that, eh?
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you so much for your contribution because for me, I'm a huge fan of development football and I follow the games everywhere, but I've never seen a final like that, Westbury, Snawane Gunners. If we can have something like that, Mr. Ntombela, I think the country will see that you have a lot to offer in this game. And I don't think we have exhausted all the avenues or all your capabilities. Having seen the players at the Engine Cup last year, I think you can agree with me that we are capable of taking the football to the next level with the youngsters that we have in the country at the moment.
100%, Tebogo. Thank you so much indeed. Snawane Gunners, Mbabane Swallows, Reiger Park, Blackburn Rovers, Wits University as well as Sundowns. Hey, you think we forget when, eh?
Hey Rob, umkhumbi kwakho malola. Uphethe insizwa lapho. Ubaba Ntombela uMahlobo. This guy was a game changer. Not only did he play and hug the line and played at left back with distinction, but for me, what I look at is his contribution towards football in South Africa. Because of his outstanding performance at Wits University, he opened gates for, opportunities for guys like Abo Ashley Makanya, Abo Lavas Mushala, Abo Charles Johan, and all those guys who were then called Abantu Abamnyama at the time. And not only did he do that, he also went in and developed players Abo Tulani Serero, Abo Hlatshwayo, and the list goes on. And I know I've attended meetings now with regards to my defunct team now. I know we contribution Baba Ntombela. I just want to say, Siyabonga Baba, you've contributed. You'll always remain a legend to us. We may not say this every day, Babu Mahlobo, but to us, you are a legend. You defied everything, going to Wits and proving yourself that you were better than the players that you find in that system. That says a lot about you.
Mkhumbi Khumalo has said everything. You look speechless.
Yeah, very speechless. I think, it was a great honor to play for that club called Wits University. They looked after me very well. Raymond Heck, Ronnie Slosh were key. So I'm very appreciative. And Mike Mangena was also very key in my career because he supported me a lot when I arrived at Wits. So thank you.
I did say to you during the ad break, and I'll just share it briefly with the listeners, is that we had the responsibility of the Soweto Derby, which has eaten up a lot of your time. You've agreed that you'll come back for, like Umangena said earlier, you need an entire hour or even more to break down your life and your career. And one of the things that Tebogo says as well about the national team is something that is mentioned on the flip cover of the book that you've written. So, Mike Ntombela wrote a book. It's called After the Fans Have Stopped Cheering. Maybe, Tebogo, you're onto something there, saying that he witnessed others who did not recognize him and give him the credit while pitch side. Is that sometimes people don't know. But going back to the national team, on the flip side, you say, and it describes you, says Mike Ntombela was probably one of the most underrated left backs and attacking midfielders of his time, not to don the Bafana jersey. His exclusion decided by forces beyond his control, rather than doubts about his ability. Says possessing all the qualities that one can find in a fine footballer, Ntombela hung up his boots at Sundowns, age 35, in 1992. Coincidentally, the same year that South Africa was readmitted into the FIFA family after more than 3 decades of international isolation caused by the National Party government's racist policies. So that's where we're going to pick it up, though, because I'm very fascinated.
Yeah.
And then the book, it takes us through that journey very succinctly about what happened, why the exclusion, and so on. Are you okay with that? Can we pick it up on that? Because I'm very intrigued in knowing that.
Oh yes, like when we accepted back into world football.
Yeah.
At that time, I felt good. I need to retire, but I was looking at the national team, but I saw that the national team is okay now. There was David Nyati, so the left back was safe.
Yes.
So when they've got a player like that, then I could retire at that time and go to coaching at Sundowns. So I wished I could have played for it, but at least there's one time where I was a captain for the locally born players in South Africa in 1988. So I played in that against the foreign-based, foreign-born players. So I can claim that I played for the national team.
No, just when you mentioned 1988, I could feel in the room, everyone was like, huh? How? 88? I was not even born. I was not even this. I was not. Guys, listen, we're going to have part 2. Nanana, thank you so much indeed for coming for part 1 today and understanding the situation all around. But thanks so much indeed. All the contributors, Bitzom Simane, Mike Mangena, Tebogo, everybody else that has phoned in, and also on social media. Marawa Sports Worldwide continues on Monday. Reaction Monday. Will there be a trophy? Will there be no trophy? Who's going to be lifting it? Who won't be lifting it? Think about it.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #